stuffed. First to 16 wins.
Dennis to throw.
His doublings together. His large 100 shot are together. And I don't know how to put this in political terms. John Part of Canada won the Embassy World title. Dennis is the Skull World title holder. This is a prestigious tournament in that rank. If it goes to American, then the world sweep of the game. Who knows?
Yes, you've got to say, Sid, that it will have been a marvellous year for the transatlantics, because you can't underestimate the efforts of young Part, and this fella a bit older than him, but on the other side of the pond, and making the Brits think twice about whether they really are supreme.
And how about that, checkouts, yeah, not much in it, but Butler's percentage
100.
About 8 pops better than Dennis's. And I don't know if you agree, John, in his play last night, occasionally, at one stage in the game last night, for about 5 minutes, he seemed to lose self-belief. As the sports psychologists say, it's no good going on hoping you're going to win. You've got to convince yourself relentlessly. Call it Zen, call it what you like, call it bottle. He flickered for about 5 minutes at the American, said he was going to meditate. Maybe meditation is the name of the game.
Yes, I remember a dart at double 16, Dennis, a third dart, Sid.
100.
A third dart at double 16 earlier in the game that he really threw so quickly, released so quickly, and on his way back to his mark, he rehearsed the way he should have done it. And from that moment onwards, he hasn't looked back. I think it is a mental thing.
59. Dennis will require 161.
We tip the Butler. Well, you could be tipping right. Larry Menace is Dennis. Where do they think them up? He's no lamb, that lad. But what about this one? Can't get the 161 now. That's 74, that's 87 left. It's a good one if he comes down for treble 17. $70 when he goes, 91. And he'll certainly have another go, because Butler way back 2-4-8. It was hard to believe that it was 7-3 to Priestley. And now
100.
It's Priestley on the receiving end, but
70.
Can pull one back here. 70 wanted. Treble 18 for double 8. Double 8 it is. Fraction across to the right.
65.
Was in a long way from double 8 in big 11, and it's a rarity when you see Priestley throwing darts like that. I wonder if Butler can make him pay again. He did before with a big checkout when Priestley was favourite.
80.
And he goes for the 48 first and then wants treble 20 tops, but didn't hit the treble 16, so Priestley 1 for double 2. Double 2. Yes, it's not spectacular, but that for Dennis will do.
Yeah, the eyes say it all. The concentration massive.
Larry to throw first.
It's 9-8, and
game on, please.
At that moment, Butler's certainly shown Dennis who's the boss of the household. There's a confidence and a relaxedness in his darts, and you've got to say it that any weakness in this has come from Dennis. Maybe discomfort. He hasn't been clattering that treble 18 as often as he'd like, or the 60, or his doubles. Needs any amount of that.
Sid, earlier in the game when Dennis was struggling, he did this. He got a magical maximum. He also got a 124 checkout, and he really steamed on from there. He also got 140 kill during that magic spell when he won 4 on the trot and went 7-3 up. I wonder if that's the signal for Priestley to go again.
Well, exactly right. It's, if you put it in cricket terms, you've got to be a brilliant Jonty Rhodes type fielder, a batter who can get tons, and a pace bowler who can make a move off the seam. You've got to be on all parts of the board a pro.
I'd suggest his name might be Gary Sobers. He's about the only man I know who describes all three, or fits all
100.
We know what you mean. You've got to be a magic man.
Because Dennis this week has showed his mastery of all parts of the board. But this lad, really, maybe it's down to Zen!
180.
Mind if Zen can mend motorbikes? Who knows what it can do on the hockey?
His 20th that of the tournament, the first man to reach it. Decision there, and
Larry require 96.
Butler still has at least 6 darts to go for this, because Priestley back on 173. His indecision certainly has cost him there. Treble 20. And another one of those, unless he wants to go tops. It's been
56.
certainly good to him, as we've said before. Got to favour Butler to go 10-8 up here. Now Dennis has somehow got to go away and say to himself, I can produce my best. When you get into a trough, you're not consistently producing your best. It's hard to pull yourself out. Butler double top. He's doing now what he did to Jockey, what he did to Burgess, hitting the double first time.
Precisely, John, me old mate. And that was a 13-darter. So here is the world's undoubted #1 player, Dennis Priestley.
140.
Under the Texan boot of the lad from Ohio. And if you're into pop history, remember the Cincinnati Fireball was one of its most famous people ever to come from that state.
100.
Butler dishing it out to Dennis. And he was 7-3 down at one stage, was the American.
Yes, you mentioned Cincinnati. Well, I can tell you that Butler's a Cincinnati Reds supporter. And he's had 1 or 2 strikes this last hour or so.
Presumably he'll do a bit of paint in the town red if he picks up the 10 grand in the hardware. You can't just spend all your life meditating.
180.
But you can take some time off to hit the magical maximums. There it is. Butler, I dare presume, to be now in command.
105.
13-darter. And then follows it up with his 21st 180 of the tournament. His 5th of the match so far. Could this be number 6?
180.
Absolutely brilliant!
Dennis require 156.
If they bottle that meditation stuff, I'm going to order a case full. He is going like a train. He's to a 2-dot finish now to get a 3-leg gap. Is the American coming in?
140.
Once 41.
Larry require 41.
Usually 9 for double 60 in this. Change it, and he wants double 20. Double 10. Dennis can only hope.
Yes!
Leg gap. A 12-dotter. This is amazing. He was 7-3 down. He's given Dennis real pain.